Welcome to another episode of Ballas Union. We got Smash holding down the paint.
You know it.
Goldie at the wing. Goldie at the wing.
Yeah.
And I'm running the guard duties. CP's on even on vacation. You know what I'm saying? And then our other guard, our first starting point guard, BTG. I need you all to pray for him. There's nothing wrong with the guy. He's just a Lakers fan.
But
Oh man,
friends like y'all, we don't need no enemies, boy.
Yep. We wrote to the Olympic Committee, and we would like to retry out for 3-on-3 for the Team USA. I'm pretty sure we do a better job than the last people that had trying to represent the USA.
You still on that? You still on that 3-on-3, huh?
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Talking about that, the Big Three season's about to start underway.
Yeah, I'm just like the previous seasons. I'm not looking forward to
it. Yeah, it is a lot of basketball consumption because we got the Olympics, we got the NBA playoffs still going on, we got the WNBA. It's definitely an overload.
Right.
Yeah. Talking about the NBA, I know we was going to talk about some head coaching candidates. So currently, there are multiple head coaching jobs up for grabs at the current moment. The Hawks haven't made Nate McMillan official head coach. He's just been the intern head coach. So that may or may not be a job opening. The Indiana Pacers need a coach. The Portland Trailblazers need a coach. The New Orleans Pelicans need a coach. The Washington Wizards need a coach. The Boston Celtics need a coach. And Orlando Magic need a coach. So there's a lot of jobs.
Did you say Orlando?
Yeah. That's the Puerto Rican coming out.
Yeah, that's my accent right there.
Orlando.
I was like, dang, Orlando.
That's next door to Orlando.
Yeah. I was trying to see if Orlando was one of the coaching vacancies. Coaching candidates.
For the candidates, right?
Yeah.
Coach Orlando.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year, Orlando Ball.
Yeah. So who you guys got? Who you would like to see? There's a lot of head coach candidates. Definitely, a lot of women are getting their names tossed up for head coaching positions, which is rare. That was unheard of. And then there's also a lot of people of color, black head coaches, are getting the early buzz. But who knows if that holds true?
I have, besides the women, what is it, Hammond and Staley, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Besides those two, I don't know who's out there. They're going to rerun a bunch of coaches anyway. So at this point, I don't know. I don't know. And I really don't care. I mean, the NBA's rigged anyway, so who cares?
This is true. This is true. Smash, you got anybody you like to see get a job?
Yeah, man. I always like what's the dude name? Jason Kidd. I always like to see him out there. So like to see him get a gig. I think it'll be good for Chauncey Billups to be on the team, see what he can do.
That's a good one. I want to see
Chauncey.
I'm with you on the Chauncey Billups one.
Yeah.
Yep. The one I wanted to see last year for the Chicago Bulls was
my boy
Juwan Howard.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? But he's saying that he's not going to the NBA. But who knows? And Dawn Staley, she is, out of all the candidates, she is the most hard. She outworks everybody. You know what I'm saying? She was out there.
I want Mark Jackson to come back.
Yeah, that's a good one too. But Staley, she was out there playing in the WNBA and coaching in the same season.
Somebody else did that.
It was her.
She wasn't the first to do it.
But she was the one that's killing on both sides though. She was winning on both sides.
Yeah, she wasn't the first to do it though. But I get your point. Yeah, I would want to see. I actually, as much as I would love to see a woman coach the NBA, I would really love to see her go over to the WNBA and take over one of those teams as well. I think they're getting some momentum, and I think that would just be a real nice boom for them. But I get why everybody want to see a woman get a chance to coach in the NBA.
Right.
Hammond has cut her teeth in the NBA, whereas Staley hasn't. So Hammond would be, an ideal candidate because she's been there, done that in the men's game, where Staley hasn't. So I think that would be her only downfall. So I would think Hammond go first, and then either one would be great. Put it that
right.
way.
I also think Hammond's set up to take over for Pop when he finally retires.
Think so?
Yeah, so I don't think she'll take any of these job open vacancies.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that one either, but it sounds good, Jill. It sounds good. I mean, maybe she'll get the Orlando job.
Right. Talking about the NBA is rigged. Kawhi Leonard is not playing anymore in the series. CP3 allegedly tested positive for COVID, but the same source that said he tested positive for COVID is also the same source that said he's fully vaccinated. So I don't know how reliable that source is.
Again, it's not going to stop you from getting COVID, but it will help prevent you from dying.
Right, but what if it's a false positive test?
Well, if it's a false positive test, then he's going to be, he's got to go see the doctors Nick Saban saw. When Nick Saban had COVID for 3 days, so he's got to go see Nick Saban see his doctors. He'd be all right.
Right. Only time will tell. I think that's what he gets for taking out LeBron James, and the NBA didn't appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
And you on to something there, Jill. You on to something there, Jill.
Yeah. And,
you might be.
And they didn't appreciate that at all. So now they're like, hey, you know what? We're going to take away the engine that runs this team, your heart and soul. We're just going to rip it out of you. Good luck.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
That'd be true.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. Boy, I tell you, boy, the CO conspiracy is really running rampant today.
Yeah. And then with that being said, I finally figure out, I broke the code. I finally figure out why the WNBA doesn't bring in the same amount of revenue as the NBA.
What's that?
The NBA is for entertainment. It's rigged. It's staged. It's, basically predetermined who's going to win or who's going to set up for the stage. You know what I'm saying? LeBron versus the world or
Curry. Are you saying the NBA is the WWE?
Yeah.
It's all scripted?
Yeah, it's basically scripted. Yeah. So the WNBA doing what professional sports teams or professional organizations supposed to do is actually, not rig the game and it's not there for entertainment. They're there to display their talent. Is why they're not getting the type of revenues or sponsorship that they need to be on the same level as the NBA.
I like it.
So you was today years old and you found out the NBA was rigged.
No, I always had it in the back of my head. You know what I'm saying? Especially that series against Lakers versus the Kings, where they had like 40 foul shots in that one quarter for the Lakers to come back and win.
Against the Bucks?
No, against the Kings.
Oh, so it happened again.
Chris Webber, Chris Webber. That's why he got the Hall of Fame, because they stole the series from him. They stole the NBA Finals from him.
That was his parting gift?
Yeah, that was his parting gift.
That was part of the package. I got to make the Hall of Fame.
Hey, Smash, Gio is on a roll today.
Hey, all this Gio, I can buy what you selling. I can buy what you selling.
Hey, Goldie, are you not buying it? Or are you
picking up what you put down?
I am. It all makes sense to me.
Hey, man.
Because I don't know how Chris Webber got in the Hall of Fame, but that's a plausible excuse right there.
That's a false fact.
Yep. So it's all coming full circle now. You know what I'm saying? My eyes are open until the WNBA start rigging their games and start scripting their championships. You're not going to bring the same amount of revenue. It is what it is.
Right. Right. I'm pulling for the WNBA. Y'all have made me a believer. Just lower the rim by a foot, and I think we're on to something.
Right.
We on to something.
You starting a movement. It's getting up the hill.
It's taking fire. It's taking fire.
Hey, with that being said, since it's all entertainment purposes, now I gotta 100% back Goldie with lowering the rim because it'll definitely be more entertaining.
Oh, there you go. See, I'm getting those staunch non-believers, Smash. They all coming on over. Come on over.
Hey, I'm cool. Hey, that fight is with CP.
The water's warm on this side.
Hey, CP, the defense attorney on this one, so you know what I'm saying.
you see, the Aggies over here pass me the baton.
Right. Right.
But yeah, also another side note, in Nike London, if you buy a pair of Nikes or whatever, they go and destroy the box, your shoe box. You guys seen that? You guys saw that trending on Twitter?
Yeah, I saw that, and they destroyed my shoe box. We having problems. I mean, it's no way you're gonna stop resellers because all they're gonna do is start doing now. They're gonna just start making boxes. It's like,
yeah, you can easily make the box.
Yeah, I mean, you're not the most easiest thing to do. You're taking away. That's fodder. That's nothing.
I'm gonna tell you the little crafting group I'm in on Facebook.
They'll have a custom.
They can make anything, boy. Hey, you need a box, they got you.
But the moral of the tale of it all is Nike needs to just flood the market. Stop doing these small releases where the numbers where it's not in demand, making such a demand for it. If you just flood the market with Jordans, you flood the market with Nike, you flood the market with all your shoes, then there's no demand for it because it's sort of flooded the market.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you kill the reseller.
And you kill a reseller. That's all you're doing. But Nike knows what they're doing. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And then you got you got the retailers who are trying to figure out a way to combat this. But there's as long as they keep doing these limited releases, it's going to continue. These resellers are going to continue to profit. So just flood the market, and you had no problems.
Right. So, okay, that's what's up. Kevin Durant had a monster game in a must-win game where Harden was playing like playoff Harden. Kyrie Irving was hurt again.
No comment.
And then and KD over there, he dropped like 49, got like 17 rebounds, 10 assists. 70%, yeah, 70% shooting. You know what I'm saying? And hit the buzzer beater at the end.
Who cares? See, Gio keeps rounding back to this daggone basketball. He keeps rounding back to this NBA. Who cares? You know, who cares?
So let's last. Who you guys got going to the finals then? Since the
Lakers and the Nets. Because what's going to happen is the Lakers going to get back in. They're going to say half the team got COVID, so they're gonna have to get the next team that they just beat. Yeah. This is maddening, man. I think here's the conspiracy. I think the conspiracy is to just to get rid of all the West teams so that an East team can win. I think that's what is happening. You got Kawhi going down, you got Chris Paul with COVID, you got the Lakers just lost. So I think they're just like, you know what? Let's just make sure Brooklyn wins it all. And kill the West, and that way Brooklyn going to win it all. We know Brooklyn about to win this thing. I don't see anybody else beating Brooklyn.
Yep, and let's not forget what they did to the MVP of the year.
Oh, now that I'm still pissed off about that. That's when I knew the NBA was rigged. Who kicks out the league MVP in a game closing round? Come on, man, that was ridiculous. That was totally ridiculous for a hard foul. Come on.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard foul. Back in the day, it wouldn't even been a flagrant, or it wouldn't have been a tech. It would just been a hard foul. A foul. That's it. Now today, today's age, they say it was the wind up. He skinned his face. He hit his arm. He didn't go for the. I'm like, technically, he did one for the ball. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're talking about. Wind up, like if this is baseball, this is not baseball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Moving along. Baseball is now putting a ban on sticky substance, but there is no definition of sticky substance. It could be anything from glue to Gorilla Glue to sunscreen to lotion
To bubble gum.
Yeah, it could be anything. Now, a lot of pitchers have some type of the majority of pitchers have some type of substance on their hands. One, to not get blisters, and two, to get better grip on the ball because the balls are is in a baseball field. We all play baseball. It gets dusty, it gets dirty.
Yeah.
It's not like they're giving you they say they give you brand new balls, but they're not.
They're not brand new balls.
No.
I thought Major League Baseball played with brand new balls every game.
No,
they start the game with it, don't they?
Yeah, they started with a brand new ball, but by the second inning, third inning, they're all dusty.
Yeah,
but they always like when they hit a ball and like when the pitcher throw a ball into the dirt, the catcher always gives the umpire the ball and he digs in his bag and gives him a new ball. So
half the time, the other time he'll just look to make sure there's no scuff marks and he gives it right back.
Well, I mean, come on now. If baseball is that's the fabric of baseball. Cheating is the fabric of baseball. Damn. You know, so we're not thinking about or witnessing anything that's not accustomed to baseball. You know, they got the unwritten rules. They got all these different little tricks and different things that they do in baseball. Baseball is the epitome of cheating. So for them to do this, they will find another way to actually get some type of foreign substance on their hands to be able to grip the ball. You know, whether it be rubbing their head, getting hair grease on from their head. I mean, there's no way for them to combat this. There's no
right. Also,
just bring back PEDs and steroids, man. We like when the ball was going over the fence.
The women love the long ball.
right. It was a magical time in baseball. Man. That saved baseball from dying.
But my thing with all this stuff is it's like it's entertainment at the end of the day, and I think with so much money on the line, if somebody wants to use PEDs and all this kind of stuff, let them, man. It's their life, and who cares? Who cares? It's all entertainment for us anyway. So
right. It's rigged. That's been established. So it's rigged. Moving along, I want to give. Since we got our boxing expert. Let's talk about Miss Shields. She went from the boxing ring to the octagon and won her first match. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on that? And her big reason for going over was money issues. She wasn't getting as paid as much, or women boxing doesn't pay out as much, or probably boxing in general as much as the MMA. And she has some very valid points to it because we get some clown fights, Mayweather versus whatever Paul brother.
Oh my goodness.
And that brings in millions of dollars. Like Mayweather made like over $100 million on that one fight.
What did he get? Like 20, I think? What did he got? 10?
Who, probably Paul?
5.
Yeah. What did he got? Like
he got like 20 million to get
beat like up. 20. Yeah, he got 20 million or something like that. Yeah.
That was so stupid.
You know what I'm saying? And she's over here respecting the craft, respecting the sweet science, and she can't even get $1 million check.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with MMA and the thing that appeals with MMA versus boxing has the WBO, the IBC, the UF, you know, they have all these different entities that have a sanction with belts and all this kind of stuff. Whereas the MMA has UFC, right? And it's all under UFC. So it's all one sanctioning body. Now there's spinoffs to that, but those are different leagues. And that's where boxing falls short because they have all these, you know, mandatory fights and all this kind of stuff. They just need to come on one accord, you know, have one belt per division and let them box it out and let it be that, you know. So, you know, MMA has more, it's more fighters and it's more going on, whereas boxing, you don't have as many fights, you know, and I understand it. I understand why she's doing it. I mean, the paychecks are bigger, you know, and it has more cachet now than boxing does. So it makes sense. It makes sense for her to go over.
You know? Right.
Yeah, boxing is becoming like the MLB. It's dying, man. Ain't no true like stars out there right now. I mean, you got Fury and
No, now see that's where That's where I beg to differ. There are tons of stars in boxing, but boxing just doesn't promote the lower ranks like they promote the upper ranks, like the heavyweights. If they were to promote it the way they should, like MMA, they will highlight somebody from it'll be UFC. What they on 1,366 by now? UFC,
right?
So they they will highlight somebody from that's mediocre and watch them rise up the ranks. You know what I'm saying? Whereas boxing, you don't get to see them until they actually become a contender. Well, how about not show them as they rising up through the ranks and then watch them become contenders? So then you'll have that cachet about this boxer is an up and coming boxer. We only get to see the great ones when they become great. We don't get to see them as they become great. And that's part of the problem.
Because it's dying.
Yeah,
they got to put the top people on there.
Yeah, I mean but you don't have. There's a lot of great fights, man. If you like, I'll sit down and watch a boxing match with some no names, and it's great entertainment. But
I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm just saying, like, when you got your people like Floyd Mayweather got to fight whatever his name is, that's degrading boxing right there.
Yeah, but that's part of the problem. That's part of the problem, and that takes away. That's because he's a great marketer. He markets himself. You know what I'm saying? He's always doing something to keep himself in the limelight. Whereas nobody else has that ability to do. I mean, they have the ability to do it, but boxing has so many entities that's in boxing. It's hard for them to actually say, okay, we all gonna come together and we all gonna do it, because everybody got their hands in the pot. So it's everybody has their own promoter. And it's just there's no, what's his name? Dana White. He knows how to do it. You know what I'm saying? UFC, everybody fights on the UFC, and it's just the way it is. We're gonna promote everybody equally, and it makes sense. It just makes sense, and I think that's why UFC has taken the reins of popularity over fighting because of that fact. Everybody fights under the same umbrella.
Right. Well, he doesn't promote everybody equally. He has his favorites or his projects. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, you always gonna have your call. You're always gonna have your crowd pleasers. But if for him to be on, I don't know what number they're on now because I don't really watch MMA like that.
Yeah, I don't watch.
They're like on 355, UFC 355, whatever it is. It's always a fight going. Every weekend there's a UFC fight on. Every single weekend there's a UFC fight on. It's not a day that it's not on, not a weekend that it's not on.
Right. And yeah, he does, and his marketing, it gives you that cult following. Watch the person from start to finish become great.
Right.
Which in boxing, you'd be like, who is this guy? Like a prime example is a boxer named Ruiz. He fought Wilder, Cuban fighter. He's a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? But you never hear of him. You never see him in big matches, nothing but. You know what I'm saying? That was some person. That was a person I would love to see coming up and see how did he became so great.
Mm-hmm. Let him get to the big match. We'll get to see how he came up. Just saying.
But you think about MMA, those fighters fight a lot more often than boxing do. Boxing, you may catch a prime time boxer in their prime. They may box. In 1 year, they may box twice in 1 year, maybe. But it's every 18 months or something that you get to see them. So it
wasn't like that before.
Yeah. No, because you think about it, you had back then they had boxers on every single level. When you think about somebody like Don King, was only a few promoters, so that one promoter was promoting a stable of boxers, whereas now you got promoters. Everybody's promoting boxing. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know who has what because they all want to push their boxers out in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, okay, my boxers, they only fight 18 months. Well, my boxers, they're gonna fight twice a year. So you don't really have any continuity on who's gonna see who and when they're gonna be shown and watching them go from nothing to something,
Right. Yep. Moving it on, NFL mini camp start or mandatory camp.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is where all the rumors come out, all the trade talks, all the contract dispute.
But before you go there, before you go on, Smash,
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, get it off your chest.
What's that?
Get the Julio-ness off your chest.
Oh, I ain't mad about it, man. It's a business deal. You know, it had to happen. So, you know, they shouldn't have signed him they shouldn't have signed him as much as I wanted them to. They shouldn't have gave him that contract because that contract caused a lot of friction. But releasing him was a business move. We were able to sign 5 of the draft picks that we did just this week.
Y'all had no money. I was surprised to look at y'all cap, and it was like, like everybody was making moves by extending contracts and stuff like that. And I think that was part of the reason. I don't think Julio wanted to extend his contract, which part of the reasons why they moved him. But that was surprised by that, man. So
I wasn't surprised. I mean, like what I was surprised with is that they stuck with Matt Ryan. That was the surprise.
Right. That's what I'm surprised about.
Are you really surprised by that?
Yes, I am. Because Matt Ryan is. I don't see what they see in Matt Ryan.
You see what they see in Matt Ryan.
I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
You see what they see.
And to let Julio go and nothing against Ridley. I think Ridley is a good receiver. And I think he will become a star. I just don't know if he'll be right now because now the focus will definitely be on him. When at first it was on Julio, which allowed Ridley to get open. Now Gage is a great receiver too, you know. So if they can work hand in hand and be tandem, but it still ain't gonna matter if we don't have the pound games, and that's what we're missing right now. So,
well, y'all listen, y'all got the number 1 tight end coming out of college. He can run the ball, I'm sure.
Hey, you know how much I hate Florida, so. He got, if you talking about doubts, shoot, that Joker got all the doubts I got. Unless he gonna be like Aaron Hernandez and shooting up the club.
Excuse me. Listen, man, you know I was like that. I was like, he could have not went to a better team, to a better versus team. I was like, that is perfect. A Florida State fan, their number 1 pick take a Gator. Oh, I know he's loving this.
When they elevate, when they graduate, you know, they switch over, but I don't know, man. But the thing is, he had similar trash thrown to him in Kyle Trask. So he may fare good with Matt Ryan. But I'm just gonna say this and that's it. But I've been saying for years that Matt Ryan couldn't throw that deep ball. I was like, if you watch Julio is always waiting on that ball. And what Julio said, he was like, he can't throw me the deep ball. Matt Ryan is not a deep ball thrower anymore. You know, he's not young anymore.
Well, so I'm hoping that I hope they give him a contract extension personally. That's what I'm hoping.
I mean, we'll be all right. Like I don't know anybody that can replace him right now. So I'll
Justin
Fields. What they say? Well, he's in Chicago, right?
We're not gonna start on your Bears now.
Hey, I'm a Chicago Cardinals fan, by the way.
You got Nagy come out. He came out just recently talking about his starter is Andy Dalton, and we're not going to discuss it anymore. Like, hold up. Are we children?
I thought he switched it and said that there's no way that Fields won't start.
No, he said well, there's no way that Fields will be on the field.
Oh, see, I misread that then.
Yeah. So it just Matt Nagy still has a job because he's a yes man. He listens to the owner, right? That's why he still has a job. And you know, off wax, I say it all the time. Bears ownership are racist. I was highly shocked that they drafted a black quarterback, but now hearing all these talks, like he won't even start. Like, and here's what happened in OTAs and minicamp so far. Justin Fields killed. Wide receivers are happy, like, oh my goodness, he could throw the deep ball. You know what I'm saying? Andy Dalton threw 3 interceptions to the backup defense because the starting defense didn't show up. So, hey man, it's a good time to jump ship.
Hey, I know how you feel, man. I know how you feel. But so here's the thing, though. Like, it's probably gonna be at least 10 more years before people. And when I say people, you can categorize it however you want. Stop thinking that the quarterback is played best by a white quarterback. Now, what's kind of keeping them going is this Tom Brady thing, but he was a one in a lifetime thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he was drafted and all that stuff. He sucked at Michigan, and well, I guess he sucked, but he was all right. But so they just think that only a white quarterback can play. You know what I'm saying? Vic opened their eyes, which I don't understand because you had Rodney Peete, Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham all before Dexter Manley, but they just don't want to give
Dexter
that
Manley.
person.
Donovan McNabb, Steve McNair. Let's keep going.
Dexter Manley.
Charlie Ward.
Not that man. What was the
Florida State finest?
The biggest problem that's problem 1A, but problem 1B is that the NFL is totally different from college, where they want to take every quarterback and fit every quarterback in this mold, right? That you have to play a certain way to play in the NFL. You got to be 6'5", 220 pounds with a cannon for an arm. You know, they don't want to, like, you got Justin Fields where, you know, he's mobile. He can do all these different things. Well, then do that with him. The same way that, well, when he's doing it, Harbaugh does with the Ravens, with Jackson. You have to build your program around the talent. Excuse me.
Bless him.
Damn. Excuse me. So for the NFL, until they get away from themselves, get out of the way of themselves, then we're gonna get the same thing over and over again, man. It's just gonna be. We want them to fit into this box, and if they can't fit in this box, we're gonna move on. This is the only position. Come on, guys. This is the only position in the NFL that they cannot seem to get right. Right? They can get running backs right, wide receivers right, you know, DBs right. They get everything right, but this quarterback position they can't seem to get right because they won't get out their way and allow these quarterbacks to be what they are.
Well, what they're looking for, here's the new model that they're looking for. Because they want to meet us in the middle. They don't want to admit that the black quarterback is good at the job because they still want a white quarterback. So who satisfies them? A Patrick Mahomes. We're both right. Okay, we compromise.
See,
there's your conspiracy, Gio.
Hey, to add to that, Madden changed his cover. It was you know, the first cover was leaked. It was supposed to be Derrick Henry. I know you're gonna love this.
It was two goats.
It's two goats.
Right.
And you know who the two goats are?
Who?
Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes.
So they both gonna be hurt this year.
Listen. As an NFC South fan, I would hope that it all plays out that way. Put Tom Brady on the cover, damn it. Put him on the cover. I'm hoping that happens.
But no, the biggest issue is the ownership. You know, the ownership they want a certain face to represent their franchise. Because every time you get the Brian Urlacher or Luke Kuechly, or I think that's how you say his name, or the JJ Watts or the TJ Watts, they just boost them up and they market them so well to, like, they're the face of the franchise, they're the face of the NFL. And yes, some of them are good, but some of them are overrated. Like JJ Watt been overrated for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years.
That's a Texas more than an NFL thing.
You know what I'm saying? TJ Watt is overrated. Everybody's talking about he should have won Defensive Player of the Year and this and this and that. That dude put up 0 stats when Bud Dupree went down.
Damn.
Yeah, and but you know that's how it usually happens in the NFL. You usually have, just like what same thing Smash said with the wide receiver, Julio commanding the double team, which makes really look good. Same thing with defensive line. You know, he's commanding the double team, which makes somebody else look good. You know, but you're looking at somebody who plays in the middle of the field in Darnold, who plays in the middle of the field, double teams, triple teams, and he still gets his numbers. They still dominate. But that's something that you're gonna always see. We're always gonna have the great white hope, and that's just across the board, whether it's sports, you know, politics, no matter what it is. It's a white man's world with Tupac standing right behind me. Happy birthday, Tupac. It's a white man's world, and until they allow us to be able to acknowledge that we can do all these different things, it's gonna continue to happen.
And I'm saying this for shock value anyway. It really don't serve a point. But you know who they hyping up right now? They hyping up Archie Manning's grandson.
Oh my!
See that's why I did it, baby. Shock value. I knew it would get Goldie, but
I'm not gonna touch that one. But you know how I feel. You know how I feel.
What's that kid's name that picks him off all the time?
We watched the game. Me and you watched the game.
I'm gonna look it up.
You gotta look at the game. Yeah, that's one kid who has his number. They played him all through high school. He picks him off every single time they play.
He gets 2-3 interceptions per game.
But you know, but that's a prime example of what Smash is saying. That's a prime example of what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? They got this kid rated as a 5-star quarterback, and it is what it is. Don't get me started on the Mannings, please.
No, I just had to say it. And one last thing, I like Justin Fields. I'm a Justin Fields fan just from watching him on QB1. So, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't see that, go back and watch it, and he'll really be a Chicago Cardinal.
He'll definitely. He's QB2. So right now,
might be QB3 because the other guy gets paid $15 million a year to sit on the bench.
Let's smash QB continued.
But you know what I like about that though, because he was on one, and the other dude that he left Georgia from, the other quarterback at Georgia
went to Florida. I mean, went to Miami. The one,
nah. It was Jake Fromm.
From.
Yeah. He went out a year before Fields, and they both ended up at Georgia. But Fields is, I don't know, holding somebody's clipboard, right? I don't even know what team he's on.
Fromm is, I don't remember what team he's on, but Fromm had a real good career. What you call him? Smart ruined his career for him because he had a trajectory going up, and then as soon as Smart took over that Georgia program, it just like that kid forgot how to play quarterback. So as much as they hate Mark Richt, he could groom a quarterback. That's for sure. He could groom a quarterback.
Right. Talking about college and football, they're talking about expanding the college playoff to 12 teams now.
Yes,
that's trouble for Notre Dame though.
That's
Notre Dame's gonna be in there.
But they're forcing them to join the conference though.
Notre Dame don't need to be in the conference to make the playoffs.
By the rules, they do. By the rules, they won't. By the rules, they won't get at. There's no at-large bids. All that large bids coming from conferences. They're not coming from independents. So if Notre Dame wants to actually get in, they have to join a conference. There is no Notre Dame rules anymore. People sick and tired of seeing this Notre Dame get into the playoffs and get thumped because they're independent. We're sick of this. But one thing I say, I love the fact that the mid-majors get a chance to get in. I love that fact. But I really don't want to hear anybody come with the thing thinking about from this point on talking about player safety and all this kind of stuff. But this is full of crap because as much as I love that they add this 12 team playoff format, I hate the fact that you're making these kids have to play more games. Go ahead, take the dummy game. Nobody want to see Florida State versus Coastal Carolina or Grambling or something like that. Nobody wants to see that game. So take those games off the schedule. Make the schedules 10 games a season. Yeah, because y'all barely win, so any win is a good win. I feel your pain, Smash. But cut it down to 10 games and then do the 12-game playoff. Because this is you're talking about now we get into the realm of these guys playing NFL schedules now, right? And they're not getting paid. So cut the schedules down, and I don't want to hear anything about player safety from this point because y'all don't care about player safety. Y'all just want to see what's going to stuff the coffins for all these programs. Just a little bit more with millions and millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, they playing catch up because of the money they missed with COVID.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So
well,
that's what it is.
Well, we can see UCF finally make his way. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, there he is, y'all.
For a quick second.
I thought you was on the road, my brother.
You married.
Enough said.
That was the estimated time.
leave it at that before it goes any further.
Right.
Well, since you're here, you gotta go to a private spot.
Right. Hey, since you're here, you want to talk about North Carolina A&T track team.
Well, I've been telling y'all about it for weeks now.
Yeah, you said they were good, but you didn't say they were dominating.
Well, I tried to, but y'all
Well,
wasn't paying me no money.
Well, they're dominating individually, but as a team, they finished third, which is the highest ranked HBCU has ever finished in the NCAAs. Third.
It's always one CP. It's always
hey, man, because he know who finished first. Who finished first? That's
It wasn't your school.
It was LSU. That is my school. That's one of my schools.
They finished first because it's rigged. You know what I'm saying? They put in some type of sport that they only could win at.
We on the
Wait, we gotta understand one thing. Because no matter whoever wins, whether it be a PWI or HBCU, they all look like us. So we all winners in this thing. Top to bottom, we all winners in this thing.
He like, no.
I'm a CP on this one. He said they were good, but he didn't tell me they were dominating
on that one.
Nah, it is what it is. I mean, I'm glad to see that the HBCUs are getting their shine. This is our time, and we need to capitalize on this shine. So
true. And
congrats to the A&T.
The 19-year-old sophomore women's track champion is dusting everybody. She said they wasn't talking about me, so I had to let them know.
Yep.
Right. They didn't even pronounce her name.
Yep.
They did now.
Last thing I heard, she was on a plane to Stockholm to go racing the pros.
Might as well.
She's out of there.
Yeah. That makes two of us. I gotta holler at y'all.
All right, man.
All right, man.
Thanks for checking in.
She in the transfer portal now.
Yeah, man. No, she ain't transferring. She's at the bank transferring her monies. Shoot. She's the fastest woman in the world, bro. So I mean, what?
Who should be Shay Richardson, right?
She beat everybody, bro. She has the world. She's the fastest. The last person ran that fast was FloJo. You know. So
they're about to make a movie about FloJo too.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tiffany Haddish.
She's a track star.
I'm glad to see the HBCUs getting their shine, man. We need to capitalize on it.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yep. We get into the 2-minute warning. Smash, you got any of your false facts?
Man, I guess what I'll hit you with is the NBA is the new WWE, man. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, we all thought it was real. But when we got older, we realized it was fake and entertainment. We still watch. We liked it. You know what I'm saying? We liked it. We took our vitamins and said our prayers. You know what I'm saying? We called each other jabronis and suck it. You know, we did it. We did it. But I'm not, the NBA, I just gotta, I'm waiting for Vince McMahon to be the new commissioner after old boy league. So that's the false fact that the NBA is not about basketball. It's about entertainment. It's the
NBE.
it's a fact that it's entertainment, but it's false that we watch it for the basketball.
National Basketball Entertainment.
NBE.
And we know they can't. We know the NBA can't wrestle because, like you said earlier, you touch them, it's a foul. So.
It's a foul, right?
Yeah. If they had a little bit of wrestling in there, shoot.
But before we go further, though, Gio, what about Charles Barkley? Said he exited stage left with TNT.
Oh, he said he's going to exit. He said I think when he's 60. When he turns 60, he's about to exit. And the main reason behind it is that he can't joke around no more. He can't have fun no more. In his words, due to the cancel culture, like he had that running joke about San Antonio women
with the churros,
with the churros and the food and stuff like that. He's basically banned from saying anything of that sort anymore. So, and other things too, because Barkley's a wild dude. He be saying crazy stuff.
He got his golf swing together, and now this.
I feel him on that because you got to be able to say something. And then like with the San Antonio thing, it just started being a little ongoing joke because people hated it. So if it goes viral, it's good, right? So you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that cancel culture. He say one San Antonio female is fat and everybody want to be on them, but I mean if you ride through San Antonio.
That's why I'm laughing because I knew that was coming.
I'm
I
just,
knew it was coming.
but I mean, that's any city, though. I mean, you ride through any city.
No,
They,
there's certain
Listen, man.
cities. There's certain cities where the
Listen,
people.
man,
they all wearing flat
everything
sandals.
is big in Texas, bro. Everything is big in Texas. If the numbers don't lie, man, the numbers don't lie.
Hey.
Everything's big in Texas, bro. So he's definitely telling false facts.
They all wearing flat sandals. That's all you got to know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, Goldie.
Oh, I don't have anything, man. Just shout out. This happy birthday to my boy Tupac, man. 50th birthday, man. One of the greatest to ever do it. One of the greatest to ever live, man. So on social things that he was talking about socially in the 90s, people were talking about in the 70s and the 60s and the 50s, and now we're talking about the same thing today, man. So I'm not buying that. We shouldn't be making change because we've all spoke of it. We all speak on it. We all speak our truths about it. Until they understand, until they actually acknowledge it, it's all the same. Happy birthday, Tupac, man.
Right.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yep. With that being said, we now have a new federal holiday. It's called Juneteenth.
How much did that cost?
I don't know. I thought we wanted a no lynching bill, but we get what we get.
Hey, I tell you, hey, you explain the conspiracy. I'm gonna tell you the ramifications behind that. All you Negroes like a good cookout, so we just gave y'all an official day. They have your official cookouts, but we still gonna lynch y'all ass.
At your own cookout.
After the cookout. As you leave going home.
As you leave inebriated, we
got probable cause now. We already know what you did at the cookout because y'all always talking about it.
This is a shame, and we're not gonna kill a sports show with our political rhetoric. But this is a shame, man. This is.
We also have Father's Day coming up this weekend and a lot of graduations. Before we touch on Father's Day, I want to give a shout out to Chancellor Lee Adams, better known as Ray Cruz's son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ray Cruz hired a hitman to kill what was his pregnant girlfriend at the time. Somehow the kid survived. The kid, and saying it seemed like a forgotten thing. It seemed like yesterday we heard the story about him shooting up his pregnant girlfriend. Now the young man is graduating from high school.
That's awesome, man.
He definitely defeat the odds. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good story. And then Father's Day, now since Juneteenth is a holiday, now they're just gonna smash Father's Day and Juneteenth all together as one big cookout.
Our day just got a little bit smaller, didn't it, fella?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, Gio.
Our day just got a little bit smaller. But let's be real here, man.
You're on fire today, Gio.
Let's be real here. That holiday was only celebrated in Texas. It was only celebrated. It was only celebrated in Texas. It may have been acknowledged in certain parts, small sectors of the country, black sectors of the country, but it was really predominantly celebrated in Texas because why? Because we didn't get the news until the 19th of June. So as much as I love the fact that we get a chance to acknowledge something about our history that is nationally acknowledged, but we also need to understand that we don't need another holiday because you don't really. I've always worked on MLK Day. I never had MLK Day off ever unless you're a federal employee. So it really is just another what do you call them? It's just another pat on the back, kudos.
This crumbs. That's what you call it, crumbs. Like, hey, this will keep them quiet for a while.
Exactly. It's gonna keep them quiet for a little while. They're doing an old hat trick. You know what I'm saying? Just look over here, but I got you over here. So
we have to give them something after the Asian crime bill.
As long as it doesn't cost them a dime when it comes to us, it doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter.
Right. Yep. And like you said, I'm glad you brought up the Texas thing because I'm a resident in Florida, and Florida's day is May 20.
Right.
So Juneteenth is definitely not going to serve no purpose. I'm definitely not going to have no day off on that.
and giving a shout out to the show High on the Hog. They talk about the Juneteenth going through Texas. So once
Yeah,
again,
I mean
check out
it's
that High on the Hog because
Yeah, that is a good show.
it's very educational.
Yeah, it's very educational about it's more about history than food.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna watch it again. Actually,
but it actually tells you. Well, we won't get into. We're gonna say that for Talking Brothers, but make sure that you check out Talking Brothers so that you can definitely hear us go in depth about High on the Hog.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna break it down, all the episodes.
Yep.
And on that, guys, we're out.
Peace.